So Derek, firstly, big game against Swindon on Saturday, a chance to catch up with some of those teams above you.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity. We've obviously played 11 out of the top 12 teams already this season out of first 16 games, so it's been a really tough start for us, and now we get into it and play teams around about us, and that's where we're looking to try and pick up the 3 points. Swindon have changed manager and changed their system about a bit since Ian Holloway came in, but we had a really good performance last week against Port Vale, and we're ready for this game.
I was going to mention that period coming up against the sort of lower table teams. It could be crucial, couldn't it, that?
Yeah, I mean, it's important that we try and get the 3 points. We've done ever so well to be competitive. We've been unfortunate at times not to have had the 3 points in the game. Similar to Saturday, where we have a really big opportunity with Ben Tollett at 0-0 that puts it over the bar, was an open goal. That changes the momentum of the game and changes the game. But unfortunately for us, Port Vale were able to get the goal late on in the game.
Is that what you think is the biggest problem, not taking your chances?
It has been. I think that we haven't been able to do that. We've made mistakes defensively as well. But when we've got into that we've had opportunities in the forward areas, i.e. a Bradford game. We could have killed that game in the first 30 minutes. And Saturday, we could have gone 1-0 up. We might have even gotten 2-0 up with Callum Jones' opportunity as well. And then, Port Vale came back into the game.
The other thing that strikes me is the conceding goals relatively late on in the game. And is that maybe down to some of these stronger teams, better financed teams, having more on the bench?
Yeah, it can be that as well, but the one on Saturday we could have dealt better with in a number of opportunities. We didn't have to lose the ball high up the pitch to give away the corner. We could have done better defending the first ball into the box, and we lose our man in the second ball.
So what's the mood been like since Saturday? As you say, the performance was good, but another defeat and still bottom. Yeah,
I mean, really positive, because we have to be. We're playing really well at times and being competitive against the team at the top of the table. The problem we've got is that, as we said, we've given away soft goals, and we haven't taken our chances when they come along. But from a performance point of view, we have done really well. But we have to change that, and we have to get the results.
How do you work on the taking more of your chances thing? How do you coach that?
That's difficult, because it's a calibre player, and we have to, when we get into that big moments, take that big opportunities, and we're certainly getting into that areas as you saw on Saturday. But you just have to continue to believe in the players and giving them confidence that it's going to go in the back of the net.
Yeah, you mentioned the confidence word. I was going to say the same thing, that no matter how bad a miss, you've got to make sure your strikers in particular remain confident.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to get into that area, and we're getting into good goal scoring opportunities. Unfortunately, we haven't taken the big chances when they come along.
Swindon's manager Ian Holloway, you mentioned him. He's talked this week about the training ground possibly being haunted. What do you think about that?
I'm not sure. I think that all managers have different ways of working, and Ian's obviously gone in there, and he's seen something that that he finds that isn't working for them.
Is it the case that when things are going wrong, as a manager, you look at possibly anything to explain why things are going wrong?
Yeah, but the main thing is on the pitch. That's the thing that players can affect, managers can affect. Yes, off the pitch, you've got to look at everything, right down to, their diet, the way that they work on the training ground. But, the main thing is, focusing on the pitch on a Saturday.
How much of it is just down to luck? I mean, obviously he's talking about superstition and training grounds possibly being haunted. There's the other view that everything's about preparation. Where does luck fit into all this?
I don't believe in luck. I don't think that there is such a thing. I think that you have to be excellent at your job, and you have to be on it all the time, and your ability is the one thing that needs to shine through. And why are i.e. a Man City at the top of the league, it's not by luck, is it? It's because they've got really good players and deserve to be there.
You've got a manager there talking about training grounds being haunted. Players as well. I guess some of them can be superstitious types, can't they? How do you manage superstitious players? You must have seen them over your career.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, players have different superstitions. They put on one shin guard before the other shin guard. They put their boot on one side before the other. They wear the same top, underneath their strip. There's all different things that they do, their warm-ups, etc. Is it superstition or is it preparing for the game? And I think that I would go with the latter. It's how they prepare for a Saturday.
Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it? What's the superstition and what's routine?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, and I think that it's routine. I think it's it's the same as a golfer or a snooker player. They do exactly the same movement all the time to become better. And the same as a football player taking a corner kick. That doesn't become luck, it becomes preparation, and the more they do it, the better you become at it.
Do you have routines?
I think routines, I have disciplines, I have ways of working that I've used over the years. I have my breakfast at the same time every day between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, if that's a routine.
Sounds like one to me, Derek.
I have my dinner at dinner time when you're supposed to, and you have your tea at tea time or whatever else, so it depends on what you go to bed at the same time of night, you get up at the same time in the morning, you switch the telly on, you have a cup of tea. What's routine or what's just life in general?
But on a serious point, these routines that the players have, certainly, they mitigate against things going wrong because it's about performance. Is that right? And you said there's no such thing as luck. But if you have these routines that make you better, then if it works, go with it.
Anything you can do to improve your mental performance, then it's beneficial. And that's what players go through. They go through their warm-up, they go through their daily routine, they go through their pre-match routine as well. And if they do that all the time and they're seeing success from it, then you continue to do it.
Some might say injuries are down to luck. You've got a couple of injury concerns at the minute. Stuart Moore last week missing. How's he?
Yeah, Stuart's out. He's got a bruised hip from the Harrogate game. Edwards is out between 6 and 8 weeks through an ankle injury that he picked up last week against Port Vale. And Leanne Gall is out until January.
Guion and Stuart, certainly a blow.
Yeah, I mean, disappointing, for them both. Guion's, had his injury issues, so is Stuart over his time at the football club, and there's nothing that you can do. It happens, and sometimes it happens to players more than others.
Are you hoping Stuart's not too long term, though?
Yeah, he will be any time that the healing process takes, and he should be back within the next 2 weeks.
We're heading towards December, which comes before January. Are you thinking about the window yet and the perennial question about finances in that window? Yeah,
already prepared for January from the point of view, identified the positions that we need to strengthen in, notified all Premier League clubs, Championship clubs, League One clubs and League Two clubs that what we are looking for. Then we'll speak to agents, after that. So everyone in England understands the positions that we're looking for. It's gone to all the clubs via an email, from myself, and I think that's important that these clubs can see the progress that we've helped, many of their players, and either come on loan or on a permanent basis with a view to a sell-on clause. We can help clubs progress, but not only that, we can help ourselves progress as well.
So that suggests you're a bit more optimistic about having funds to work with in January than you were a few weeks ago.
Yeah, the funds have been made available for January, so which is really good. Players will have to move out as well because naturally we can't carry too many players, so the ones that have been not getting game time will naturally move on, and we'll be able to take in other players.
So is that funding from the current owners?
Yes.
That seems to be a bit of a change, doesn't it, from what you thought a few weeks ago?
Yeah, we didn't know, a few weeks ago, but we've been obviously given the budget to do that in January, which is only natural for every club in this league.
This week marked a year since you left the club. A year on, how do you see the job now? And a year on, how do you see the challenge now of being Morecambe manager?
Yeah, it is different. Obviously left the club last year when we were 6th or 7th position. This year is difficult because we took in, 15 players on the 1st of July. We added to that, so we signed 19, 20 players in the transfer window. We're in a position that we don't want to be in at this moment in time, and we have to, get a number of positions up and catch the teams above us. Off the field, nothing has changed from that point of view because the club's still in a situation where it's trying to be sold. The probably only one thing is that we might be closer than it was the last time.
The reason you left a year ago is because you weren't happy about things that were round the corner. I think we've talked about that before. Are you happier now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy because, I think that the football club could be progressing in the right way from the point of view that we certainly need, a takeover to help us financially. There's obviously got to be areas where we need to look to off the field to help us because our turnover is the lowest in the league. Our budget's the lowest in the league. So somewhere along the line we need to improve on the field and off the field to help us, go forward.
Do you think that the availability of finances for January and that general sort of optimism you're talking about relative to a year ago, do you think the club could be genuinely closer to a takeover now? Or do you just not know?
I don't know this, but it certainly seems to be, but who knows until that contract, is signed by both parties.